Welcome to Spotlight on Salem. Well, summer is finally here, and I, for one, could not be happier. I love the summertime. It's a perfect time of year. You're going to have music outdoors in the parks and the amphitheaters. Perfect time to go hiking. Maybe load up the whole family, go to the coast, have a barbecue and some cold beers. But if you're like me, and God help you if you are, but if you're like me, there's nothing better than getting in the car, rolling down the windows, maybe drop the top, put some music on the stereo, and just go for a drive. But you know, and this is key, if you're going for a drive, it's the summertime, you got the wind blowing through your hair, and what you listen to on the stereo, let me tell you, that's the most important thing right there. You don't want to listen to a bunch of whiny, emo crap. No soft, atmospheric bullshit. And don't even get me started on auto-tune, because that shit, it sounds like two robots copulating. You know, for my money, what you want is some kick-ass rock and roll. With a searing guitar, thunderous bass and drums, and a killer vocalist that really knows how to bring it. Are you with me on this one? I hope so. Because tonight on the show, we have Cold Static. So after we have a little chat, get to know them better, they're going to do 3 songs for us right here in the studio, but it's okay. I had the maintenance guys come in, put some protective coating on the walls to keep the paint from blistering. Welcome to Spotlight on Salem.
That's great.
Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and have a little introduction here, starting with you.
All right, thank you, Mike. I'm Emily Wood. I'm the vocalist.
I'm BLX Pope. I'm the guitar player.
Kyle Stevenson, drums.
Brian Johnson, bass.
Awesome, so glad to have you guys here. I'm looking forward to the music set a little bit later, but first things first, let's plug the CD. Available at your shows, I presume, and
Oh yes, in a picnic basket.
Is it available on iTunes in a picnic basket?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
with lights and
Yeah.
it's all lit up.
Twinkling lights. It's a
Twinkling lights.
Christmas.
You know,
Very important.
if you don't have the twinkling lights, I think that's going to be the draw. But songs for your sandwich, available at shows and online. So let's get that out there right away so everybody knows about that. So, first of all, how did you guys all come together? Who wants to take that one?
Well, first of all, Emily and I started playing music together in like 2006, so it was a long, long time ago. And we went through a couple bands, and we went through a long stint where it was just us making music, and like she was literally stuffed in a closet at one point doing vocals for things that I had done.
Nice
like,
little shut-in closet. Great vocal box.
Okay. Okay.
it was very
For
dead
recording.
in there.
For recording.
Oh, for recording. Okay.
Just to clarify.
This wasn't like locked and, you know.
It was a sliding door.
No, it puts the lotion on itself kind of a situation. No, nothing. Okay, totally wholesome.
I knew it.
All right,
I knew
okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah, so some of the songs on the CD we actually recorded in that like closet full of clothes that we used for recording vocals. And
Back in the
Now,
day.
what kind
Back
of
in the
clothing
day.
do you find works best for recording in the closet? Cottons
Hers-
and natural
just
fabrics?
hers, whatever she has in the closet.
Just curious.
Some suede.
I never thought about it too much.
Suede would probably, yeah. Okay.
A lot of zebra.
A lot of zebra.
A lot of zebra.
What other
So-
kind of suede is
Some
there?
felt.
Okay.
Wait, is there?
And so then how did Kyle and Brian come to join the
So
band? How
when
did
we
that
moved
happen?
to Portland and Salem and just the area, we wanted to actually have a band, because before it was just synthesized drums. It wasn't real instruments. It was only real guitars and real vocals, and that was it. So we wanted to put together a band, and we put an ad on Craigslist, and the first drummer we interviewed was also the last drummer we interviewed, and that was Kyle.
That's right. We got a room at Bongo Fury that was concrete walls, floor, and
Oh,
ceiling.
man.
It was the loading dock of
It
Bongo.
was. It was.
Brutal.
It was freezing too.
It was December 11th, I
Yeah,
think, and
yeah.
it was 30 degrees out.
Yeah.
Perfect conditions for
Right?
auditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It was great, actually.
Yeah.
Forgot earplugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was loud. It was good.
Right on.
And then I had actually played one time with Brian and one of his buddies, and sort of it was a weird little middle ground where I was like pretty sure I was gonna be in a band with these guys, but musicians are flaky, so I didn't know whether they were actually gonna follow through. I'm glad they did. So and then I played with them for a little while. We had another bassist who didn't work out, and then we were looking for a new bassist, and I remembered Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, so I had tried to
Save the
recruit
day.
Kyle for my band and failed.
And failed.
And then they pulled me away from my band, and I abandoned all my friends, and I've been with these guys ever
Bait and
since.
switch.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
All good rock bands are made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your friends.
Very cool. But you apparently came to the music scene a little bit late. You had a bit of a kind of
Yeah.
a strict upbringing.
Yeah.
Typical.
Yeah, I would say there wasn't, Led Zeppelin playing on the speakers or anything like that. But yeah, once I turned 18 and finally I found this, world of rock and roll and music, and I record, songs off the radio on a tape. That's how I found Pieces of Janice anyway. I was like, oh,
Who's this?
right? Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, this is awesome. Like, go to the library, try and
Oh, yeah,
try-
yeah.
Remember the library?
Yeah, oh, yeah. There's a lot of music at the library, and that's online too.
Yeah,
Support your local libraries.
yeah, and and then this guy was like, hey, come play music, and I
Come
was
get
like,
in this closet.
right?
In this closet. Yeah. Okay. No, that sounds legit.
At the time, it was a basement, but there was like
You
a
know,
closet
Doesn't make
like
it better,
spaces.
man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but basement closet makes it just a little creepier.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Just dig yourself a hole, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, that must have been a mind blower at 18 to discover
yeah.
all of this music.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, even just like other stuff like Nirvana, for example, to throw back to the 90s. I hadn't heard those guys till then as well. Another friend hooked me up with a CD, and it was all trouble and fun from there, pretty much. It was pretty great.
Okay, and so then you've been together, what, 3 years,
3 years.
now?
3
Is that
years,
about right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then when did the CD come about? How did that happen?
The CD came out in April of last year, and that was after recording it in late summer of the year prior. And we recorded it basically on our own with an engineer at Willamette.
Shout out
Western
to
Oregon. Western Oregon.
Western Oregon. Shout out
West-
to Cole.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. Cole
Great
Johnson
engineer.
was our engineer. Thank
Yeah,
you, Cole.
give some credit. Yeah, there you
And
go.
he was great, and he helped us out with it, and he basically gave us access to the whole mic locker and everything, and this great live room and great preamps and everything. So we actually had a chance to get all the best stuff on a pretty low budget, all things considered.
Well, the CD sounds really good. And was this everybody's first attempt at doing a recording, or?
No, not for me.
Okay.
I was a producer in Seattle as well. So.
Okay. Okay, now it's becoming clear. What about you guys?
I had played a bit with my brother. We played locally here back in the day, and we recorded a couple CDs. That was like a lifetime ago. But also shout out to Darren Johnson. Yeah, so we had some experience doing that, but then there was like a big gap. I hadn't really even picked up my bass much, other than the band that I was trying to find a drummer for.
That shall remain nameless
Yeah,
at
right.
this point. So.
Right.
Jerk. He abandoned it.
Right.
The drummer.
I know.
Yeah.
They're unreliable, those
I know,
drummers.
Jerk. Yeah, and I've been lucky. Since I was 15 have been in bands and have moved around based on like college and grad school and jobs and stuff. So I think I've gotten to record something with all of the 5 or 6 different bands I've been in. So
Okay, and so is this your first attempt at recording then?
I mean, I feel like this is the first like CD produced and mastered. Like we had like our little projects.
It's a long
but
ways from the basement.
I
CD
feel
that
like,
we made.
yeah, I
Right.
feel like this is the first like real ever tangible. Oh man, you can open it up and there's some sweet art inside and
Yeah,
like
even the disc has art, which is nice, and you have the lyrics on the
Yeah.
inside, which is always.
who's the artist again? Can we
always
plug
nice.
her?
Miranda. I don't remember her last name.
Oh, sure.
But Miranda's really cool.
Yes, thank you,
And,
Miranda.
and she did some original CD art for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CD art's really nice too. That's a nice touch.
It's in there. Her name's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's available. If you want to find out, purchase the CD. There you go.
Miranda,
Right. This is a planned
Abrams.
teaser.
It's a
Oh, you
planned.
blew it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was the first album.
And how did that feel to you when it came out? You pretty stoked?
I was super stoked.
To have something you can actually hold in your hand and.
Yeah, just to go through the whole process of, Alex produced it. He has the Pro Tools at home, but then we paid for the mastering. But just it's a really cool thing to do. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of effort from everybody, from the guys from Cole or from Ryan Foster. He's the guy that mastered, and he.
And
Takes
so
a lot.
how long did it take to record that? I mean, how much time were you allotted? Did you just crank it out?
did not take much time.
Yeah.
We basically gave ourselves what was it, 4 days?
I think it was like 3.5 days.
It was
3.5
It
days.
was brutal.
It was 3.5 days, and we wanted to record 7 songs.
Long
and
days.
this was like I knew about the limitations of what we could do at the time, and I kept kind of saying, I don't think we can do 7 songs. By the end of it, I was saying, no, we can definitely do it. We can definitely do it. But that was the coffee speaking.
Yeah, we had to fit it in when nobody else was using the studio space, and I had an infinite home, and then the power went out.
Oh
one of the
yeah,
days.
smoky summer.
Powerful.
So, yeah, one of those was cut off when we were doing drums, right?
Yeah,
that was
that
the
was our
end of
track.
my drum track.
That was the last drum track that we did. Yeah.
Power cut at the university.
Yeah,
It was dark
Dark
in
in
the
there.
studio.
Yeah.
it was a dark
Crazy.
time.
Well, that must have been difficult when you're working around other people to get 4 people from
Yeah.
various locations all there at the same time.
Well, I mean, we all have our cell phones. We got flashlights.
Yeah,
and stuff,
but you may be
still.
in the middle of something and like, hey, we got to be there now.
Yeah, it's hard to schedule.
Well, we tried to block out as much time as we could and just kind of
Yeah.
We pulled it off.
clear the decks and yeah.
'Cause we like it so much. You
And
know,
we
just-
like each other and
We're all
you know.
right.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're okay.
They're all right. Cool. So we don't have any stories behind the scenes of infighting. And
Kyle and I got in a fist fight a minute ago, but
True.
see, that's what's going to sell the program.
Right.
It really will.
we have a staged kind of what is it, like a choreographed
Repertoire?
fight scene later. Yeah.
This is
Awesome.
It'll be
the
good.
part where we throw the chairs over, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's part of the banter.
I was gonna bring
Yeah.
like a fake chair, a sugar chair.
To break over somebody's head, like wrestling style.
Yeah, I ate it. I ate it on the way here.
Well, not much you can do then.
No.
So, wow, okay.
Oh, returning from that.
So, and then as far as the songwriting goes, how does that work with you guys?
You guys want to take it away?
I write everything and record all the tracks.
It's all me and these
My
guys are just
falsetto
riding my
sounds a
coattails.
lot like Emily's voice, coincidentally. This is
Are
going
you
to be
suggesting
100.
that maybe she's not real?
There's a Milli Vanilli thing happening. I'm just
I-
saying later,
I
when you
kinda-
see us play,
It's gonna be Brian.
suspect. Suspect.
I
He's
kind
a
of
ventriloquist, too. I
kind
mean,
of
he can do it
wondered
with his mouth
about
closed
that
and
because
Yes.
I don't know why you pointed us, because these guys,
That's
they
true.
pretty much write the music. Alex kind of creates the bones of the song, and
But Emily's been doing that
Emily
more and more.
puts the lyrics and the melodies on it. And yeah, and there's definitely a
Yeah.
kind of a handoff back and forth, and then they'll usually bring us something, kind of a rough draft of something to practice, and then we just play with it for a while.
Something we recorded on our phone and then just bring it in so that we can get an idea of what we want to do with it. It usually
rough track.
starts with like half an idea, a quarter of an idea, and by the time we bring it to them, it starts actually turning into a real idea.
Yeah.
Oftentimes doesn't even resemble the original thing. Like I brought in a song one time and it's called Meniscus. And I came in with this song in 4/4 and I left with this song in 15/8 and 7/4 and
That's Kyle.
5/8 and that was Kyle. That's what he added to it. It still
Took
grooves
away.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's usually what me and Brian do is we mess with the structure and the time signatures and the feel of it. And Brian, you've added a couple of parts just from the ground up.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, why don't we put in this?
Yeah, I
super
just find
sick jam
something that I
part?
can actually play, and then
There you
I
go.
force it into the song,
Yeah.
and then you guys have to react to what I'm doing.
That's what we are.
And then that's when the fighting begins.
That's what a bass player
Okay,
does.
all right.
Well,
Yeah.
there's kind of an interplay between the way he approaches things and the way I approach things, which is I try to make a very compact, very like seamless thing that all fits in this one little space. The result is I end up with like a 2-minute and 15-second long song that doesn't have lyrics yet, and Brian turns it into a real song with like an actual depth to it that I never ended up with.
So when do the lyrics come into play? After the song's fleshed out? Or do you have
Usually
them?
like a quarter of the way into starting it, I would say. I have an idea and I try to have a couple parts ready, but I don't have them in order or anything, and I don't have connections between the parts. And at that point, it's like, okay, we need lyrics for this, so we know what to do with the song.
Do you
Yeah.
keep like a journal or something and write down ideas throughout the week, or it just comes to you at the time?
Well, I mean, I would say sometimes I'll have some lyrics written up, and each one is really different. I guess you could say they all have a different. Like sometimes you'll have something. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, I got this little tune in my head. Here's some lyrics, or heck, you'll have something recorded, and I'll
Yeah.
like, hey, these kind of fit that. Let's use that. But lyric wise, yeah, I guess it just kind of.
Tomes and tomes of lyrics. There's so many lyrics.
So you're not
like
lacking
entire
for
journals of
material at
lyrics.
this point. So yeah, so you guys have a lot of songs you're working on right now, and you're going to try and whittle it down to do another CD.
Yeah, definitely.
When do you think that's going to happen?
We're mid-whittle.
Mid-whittle.
We haven't quite decided what we're whittling yet, so.
Well, we just need like the place to do it, right?
Yeah.
Time, like we.
Place, time,
Yeah.
the songs.
I think we
Basically,
We have the
We
songs.
go into a studio tomorrow and start recording.
Yeah, we have
we
the
could, but
songs. We've been talking
we
about it.
haven't
It's all
decided
very
which
That's true. That's true.
it's very
And
amorphous.
so then getting the money though, then that's got to be a concern too, and where that's going to come from. Have you guys considered doing crowdsourcing, or are you just going to try and float it on your own?
I consider kind of what we're doing now crowdsourcing. I mean, most of the first CD that we made, that was made entirely with money we made with the band. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I guess
we-
indirectly.
I would
yeah.
call that crowdsourcing.
We have a band fund, and we put our show money and our CD money into it, and then
Triple digits.
Yeah.
we're basically rich. Yeah.
Really?
We have tens of dollars in our
Tens.
band fund.
Tens and
Yeah, I
fives.
know.
This is- people are going to see
I know.
this. It's just,
Just don't tell them where the jar is.
It's literally a fishbowl.
Plastic fishbowl.
Big fishbowl.
That's okay.
So, when you first started, how long did it take you to get a following? Like, did people hear about you?
We have a fall.
Or did it?
3 years and
No, but I mean, obviously people are coming to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I probably about like a year ago, we started seeing familiar faces at some of our shows.
Yeah,
that we
definitely.
didn't know.
That at the time it was like, hey, I think
seen
that
that
guy was
guy
at a show before, and it was a little weird, honestly,
Yeah.
at first. Now, like we're friends with everybody, and
Yeah,
there's
now,
some
now there are faces that we do know.
right.
so-
There's some really cool people, and I mean, I don't know that I think of it like a following as much as just we're kind of making friends along the way. But yeah, probably about a year ago, I think I started noticing the people that had maybe noticed us.
And there's a lot of support between the different bands that play together. even if
That's
they're
one of
not
the
in
great
show.
things about
Yeah.
Salem too. Is a lot of bands are really supportive
Yeah.
of other people, and that's really cool to see. So, so what are your favorite places to play around Salem?
Space.
The
Space is number one.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
space is the place.
Space is the place. Yeah, I love the space.
Triangle was fun.
Triangle's fun, yeah.
The alley outside of Taproot was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we had
that-
some Taproot
that's-
was
yeah.
That was a
actually,
sweet
yeah.
alley.
The parking lot in West Salem.
Oh, dang.
We played.
Parking lot.
We played. We played the Boys and Girls Club. I think it was 3 years ago. Make Music Day.
Yeah.
We ended up in this parking lot at the West Salem Boys and Girls Club. Kind of a wazoo show, but there were like kids all up against the window.
Oh, yeah.
For whatever reason, they wouldn't let them outside to come see us.
Probably because they saw you, Brian.
Maybe,
They're like,
maybe.
"Eh,
But that
let's
was kind
keep-
of fun.
Let's keep them inside.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we also played on the street in downtown.
Yeah, we had a-
that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in
That was
front
in
of
front of Brownstown.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brownstown.
That was really nice. And the sidewalks were packed. But it was,
Just make music to him.
trying to scooch by, but we were, causing a little lineup along the walkway. That was pretty cool.
But yeah, the Space has been really good to us. We had our CD release show at the Space.
Yeah.
Doug and Stan and Summer are just the best people.
They're great people. They
Shout
really
out,
are.
Doug, Stan, Summer.
Yep. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Doug said
Great thing to
something.
have in Salem.
Okay, and so now you guys are going to do 3 songs for us here. And 2
yeah.
of them are off the CD, No One Calls and Damp. But I'm really curious about this third song, Galactic Transcendelic Pants.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Have not heard that one yet. So
Yeah.
you care to elaborate on?
Actually, it does have a story.
First of all,
to
the
it.
title.
Well, it was pants inspired.
Is that the only thing?
Period.
I mean,
Or is there some other?
For a while, it was sandwiches. I think.
Well, of course.
She's in a pants phase now.
There's
Okay.
actually a couple pants themes to some songs, but this one in particular, yes, there was definitely, I guess, Galactic Transcendelic Pants comes
Who
from.
doesn't have a pair?
Exactly.
Right?
Kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, that's enough for now. Why
That
don't,
was the end of that story.
let's go ahead and play some music because we're running out of time.
Awesome.
All right,
Okay.
you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
You're losing time, but you're the last in line. Gotta punch that guy, 'cause you worked on how you don't wonder. Just up your nose in case the cat don't call you with a thunder, with a thunder. And the morning fog makes it last Tuesday. To the park down there, you have one last chance. Face your back to reach the top of the deck, but no one's looking. Sweet potatoes in your pack, 'cause a man will never ask for a forget. You don't do it for the pay, and if you do, same. You're losing time, but you're acting like you gotta. 'Cause you gotta never punch out cards, 'cause you worked out how you don't wanna. Just up your nose in case you crack your phone to win the time now. Down there, you have one last chance, one last chance, one last chance, one last. Yeah. Going down the river, right high and home, feeling all bruised up, but you did a good job. Rock on the streets, elves getting tight, kids are in the mud, 'cause they're shooting you away. Open your mouth, put out your hand, but you cannot do the grinding in around the way. Hey, yeah. done nothing wrong. Tripping the life fantastic with a hope me back. What? No. Yeah. Yeah. It's so quiet in here. You can't hear your thoughts over your heart. When I think back to a time